Right guys, we're at Teesside for a practice day. My beautiful assistant here is just warming the car up, warming the seats up. And yeah, today we're going to try and just kind of figure things out on the car. We're going to try a few different tyres. I'm also trying a new microphone setup, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me a lot better in the car. Microphone is definitely not going to help you see me, but hopefully you'll be able to hear me a lot better in the car, like without all the fuel pump noise and stuff, because I've got a microphone in my helmet now. But basically, at the moment, we're just deciding what tyre pressures we're going to start the day on. They're like really high at the moment because they're just like from whatever the guy who put them on set them to. So yeah, we're going to start fairly high, starting like 26, 27 psi on the West Lakes, because that's what I've kind of started to get used to. But we've got a new alignment now, with a bit less negative camber. Well, we're actually running a tiny bit of positive camber on the rear, because when these compress, you gain negative camber. So if you start with a tiny bit of positive, when it compresses, when you're on throttle and when you go around corners, you're actually going to end up fairly flat. So that's 25 psi there. So we will stick 25 psi on the other side, and then just play around with things throughout the day. Like I say, we've got different tyres to try. We're going to try some Tri-Ace tyres instead of the West Lakes. We've got new tyres on the front. We've got Max Sport tyres on the front, which quite a few people recommended. Heard lots of good things about them, because I was just running road tyres on the front before. Why is it so warm? Because it's summertime. Is it summertime? Not really. No, shouldn't be this hot, should it? Whoa, global warming, people. Killing the planet. And we're going to go shred some tyres and help.
How's my balls?
Your balls pretty hot? I've just turned the camera on. The first thing I'm going to see when I edit this clip is, are your balls pretty hot? What's that?
Something rattling.
Yeah, that's not normal. Right, so we just pulled back into the pits to try and find out what the sort of rattling noise was. It turns out it was the coolant boiling again. We had an issue with this originally, the first drift I did, and then I bled the system loads more, and then it stopped doing it. Well, no, actually it didn't stop doing it. It still boiled sometimes, basically, but the temps never actually got that high. It was only ever like boiling just in the expansion tank, and the temps were all fine. So to try and help fix that, we've got a higher pressure cap. So we've got 1.3 bar cap, which lowers the boiling point, or raises the boiling point, sorry. I'm getting my terminology terribly wrong. Bryn's not going to be happy when he sees this video. But yeah, so that should help. But then we've also switched some of the coolant, or the antifreeze, out for distilled water and some water wetter stuff. But yeah, we're hoping it was going to be better. Turns out it's actually worse. So we just bled it even more. It seemed like there was still quite a lot of air in the system, even though I've spent fucking days bleeding it. So hopefully we're going to go out now and it's not going to boil. But we'll see. Put some fuel in it.
Putting fuel in it?
I love putting fuel in it. I don't know if this is going to leak though, because the Shiwi has not been tested on this can before. Oh, that's good. That's good, kind of. Help too.
You just have to want to pour it. No half-arsing it.
I'm trying, but it's heavy. I've not got a good grip on it, you know.
You see how much fuel's in it?
Good luck.
Oh wait, you can't tell.
That's why I installed a fuel gauge, mate. But now you can tell. This is my fuel pouring face.
There's some really good lighting behind you as well. You look very
look majestic.
Very majestic.
It's not actually been that bad on fuel, this. I've been surprised. Every time I've been like doing a load of practice runs, I've like come in thinking, oh, the tank's gonna be empty, and it's been still not too bad. Yeah, you can't tell on that bad.
You can if you squish it. Yeah, it's there.
What, it's over halfway?
It's about there.
What? Best part of the day, that.
You going home?
Yeah, I'm getting in bed later. That's the best part of the day. Drift life. Right, so we've hopefully sorted the coolant issue, but we're just going to go find out, like I said. We've let a few more PSI out of the tyres. We're on 23 PSI now. You can see how that goes. It felt fairly grippy, but it could be grippier. Definitely seems to be feeling better with this alignment, but I don't know how much of that is just because it's really hot and the track's more grippy anyway. And obviously we've only done like 2 laps, so I'm going to go out slightly low pressures, see how we get on. Are you ready to do a skid?
Always.
Always. Born ready, weren't you?
I was born skidding.
Born skidding. I like it. That's what I was thinking of, yeah. It's so hot. No wonder the car's overheating. I'm overheating. We'll just take it steady on this one. It's a nice boring entry. fucked it. We do tame flick. Nope. Oh. Yeah, I'm not running the line that I'm trying to run around that last corner. Yeah, that flick was too tame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were very straight when you pulled back.
Yeah. Still pretty slippy at the moment. Oh, very slippy. Why is there a bumper there? There's a bumper there.
How did that feel?
It felt very slippy on the first corner, I think just because tyres weren't warm. I want to do some flicks, but I'm still nervous it's going to be too grippy and I'm going to die. I mean, a lame flick is almost worse than a good hydro entry. A bit gay, wasn't it? Got waved yellows. Oh dear. I thought we were going off the track on the first corner, I'll be honest. This is like, if the queue stays like this all day, this is ace. Although temps are now at 105.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah. Maybe we go do some more bleeding. It comes down fairly quick. It's like the fans do their job when you stop.
Yeah.
But that seems hotter than it was getting before, on just like one lap. Right, so we had a few coolant issues as you saw, and we also had a coolant leak. I don't know if we got that on camera, but we had quite a bad leak. So we spent ages sorting that out. We had to go and buy some more coolant and fuck about for the last couple of hours sorting all that. It's better, we're not sure if it's completely fixed yet because the temps are still getting kind of high and the coolant's still boiling sometimes, so it's not perfect yet, but it's drivable for now. And we've been lowering the pressures quite a bit. Still on the West Lakes, we haven't tried the Tri-Ace yet. We're just waiting for them to be changed onto some rims now. So we just put some fresh West Lakes on, but we've lowered these down to 17 PSI. We've been gradually getting lower and lower throughout the day. And it still doesn't feel like, even as a passenger, you can tell it's not feeling too grippy yet, is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we just kind of keep going lower and lower. It definitely feels better on this alignment. That guy's making a lot of smoke. But yeah, it definitely feels better on this alignment. But also because the track's just really hot and grippy anyway. And yeah, so we're just going to keep lowering them and then we'll try the Tri-Ace and see how they compare. Right, so I managed to somehow damage the microphone that I was using, so the audio is going to change now. I don't know if any of the audio from those previous clips will have been usable or not, because I don't know when I damaged the microphone, but I like bent one of the pins on it, so yeah, try and sort that next time. But yeah, we're going out behind Jojo. She's testing her car as well today, like she's not driven that for ages. So we're not going to get mega close, obviously I'm not going to smash into it, but yeah, it should be a good lap. But they felt really slippy as we left the line. Like a lot bigger than I thought after we just sort of run them. Okay. So I don't know, that was quite inconsistent, that. So that was the day at Teesside. I just thought I'd explain a couple of things that we didn't really go over in the video. Firstly, sorry that the audio changed like halfway through the video because I damaged the microphone jack on the GoPro, so couldn't keep using the microphone that was in the helmet, but I think that is what I'm going to do in future, just use a microphone in the helmet because it seemed better. I was worried you wouldn't be able to hear the car, but you could still hear the car fine, you could hear me pretty clearly. Need to tweak it a bit because it was cutting out a little bit, not cutting out, but like peaking and crackling a bit because it was so close to my mouth, I think, but yeah, we'll sort that out in future. So that's one thing. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, I really didn't like that I was having to do hydro entries. I wanted to do a flick, like a sort of clutch kick and turn, and then enter in, and I do use the hydro to stabilize it after that, so it's still technically a hydro entry, I guess, but I still call it a flick entry because you're flicking first. But anyway, yeah, I couldn't do those because every time I tried, it would just, because it's right at the top of third gear, if I floor it all the way from the start line, it's a really long run up, so all the way from the start line, through first, through second, all the way to the top of third, and that's just when you want to start initiating, is the very top of third. So if you turn and clutch kick it, when you clutch kick it, there's no more sort of revs for it to build up really, so it just hits the limiter straight away, and you don't really get any sort of sudden surge of power going to the back wheels, so it wasn't really doing anything. You can probably tell in the videos, I would like turn, clutch kick, and it would step out a tiny bit and then just grip straight back up. It wasn't sort of getting enough momentum to like swing out and then swing back round. So yeah, that was kind of frustrating. I felt a bit lame just doing straight line hydro entries all day, but whatever. It's probably for the best because it meant I could focus more on like the actual line rather than just the entry messing me up, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we tried a lot of different stuff with the tyres. We also tried the Tri-Ace tyres at the end of the day, which I wasn't massively keen on. We only did 2 laps though, so I can't really judge them properly from that, but they didn't feel as consistent as the Westlakes, but again, it was just 2 laps, so I can't really comment too much on that, but it felt a lot better than the last few days that I've done, where I've not been really used to how the car's going to handle. I think I'm starting to get used to it now. We lowered the pressures down to like 17 psi in the end, and it sounded weird, like you got like a lot of tyre roar and a lot of sort of like a deep sort of rumbling sound through the tyres. So it didn't sound great, but it felt alright, so I think that's what I'm going to run them at in future. But yeah, that's pretty much it really. I don't think there's anything else to explain. We had a lot of coolant issues that I don't think we even filmed all of them. So I think that's pretty much it. There's not a lot else to say. Again, I'm just kind of still getting used to things. The chase runs I did of JoJo were fucking terrible. Like I still feel really out of practice with chasing. So we're going to do Santa Pod next week and get a lot of practice in, again with JoJo and probably some other people. We'll get a lot of practice in there because that should be a bit easier to just keep doing a load of 20 practice all day. So that should be fun. There'll be a video from that, so I'll see you there.